Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and honor and glory be to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ruchak Wadash. And I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings to the hopeful elect out there listening and learning, and also teaching this word in sincerity and truth, in the hopes that we may edify and feed the lambs of Yahweh Shai, especially in these last days. And I'm just gonna say, like, get ready for the purge. You know, if you're familiar with the movie The Purge, where they show you in these cities that there's gonna be all out chaos. You know, I was just thinking about doing a video on this this particular clip here. As you can see, the title says "Breaking Release Criminals Party Outside the UK Prisons." Alright, and this is all in response to I think they let out at least 1,700 criminals that were supposed to serve 50% of their jail time, but they only ended up serving 40% or something along those lines. So they got out early, but you got these criminals, they're partying outside UK prisons, and as you can see, they're popping bottles of bubbly and pretty much you got people that are responsible for putting these people in these situations. First and foremost, Esau, he's the one that's locking Jake up left, right, and center. But you got people that have, people are in there because they got, grassed on by people outside, or they got into some sort of some spat or some, all kinds of scenarios of why they ended up in there, had to go through the court system. And then they ended up, in that prison system. And one thing that I always think about is during the time of a blackout or night, there's gonna be no 999 calling, man. There's gonna be none of that going on. And this clip is from Maya Tusi TV. I watch him from time to time because he puts up some breaking news. Goes into like geopolitical news, all over pretty much. Even over there in Germany, he done one recently. I'm going to do a video on that as well, Lord willing. The border control over there in Germany. Now, this whole, is pretty much fallen, the border controls over there in Germany is pretty much fucked up. And now they're putting in a rule from September the 16th, to tighten up their border controls over there in Germany. So what's up with these border controls? Why? What's with the timing of it? You got to think, what about America? What about Babylon the Great? What about them, getting Venezuelans, pretty much Venezuelan criminals? They're just getting emptied into America. And over here, you got these UK criminals partying outside prisons. There's something going on here, all right? And we know exactly what it is. It's for the perfect recipe for disaster and chaos. So this is Revelation 12:12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." So Esau, he knows he's got a short time, man. All right, so they're presenting you with the perfect recipe for disaster and chaos. All right, in order to come forth with the solution, because the greater the chaotic, the greater the situation of chaos that there is, is going to have to be the greater draconian response. And that's exactly what Esau needs, and what he wants to get this new world order on and popping. And when I say new world order, the pinnacle of that is for them to chip everybody. All right, and pretty much get rid of the those that don't want to be chipped. Those that refuse it. The scriptures speak about the souls of them that were beheaded. And that's the elect, starting with the elect. Now you're going to get some other individuals that are not even of the elect that are going to resist taking the chip, but the Lord is only dealing with his elect. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a little bit of this clip, and then I'm going to go I'm going to get some scriptures to go through it. All right, so get ready for the purge. The scripture says, let me hold 2 Ezra 15. Oh, that's the spirit. It's right there. There you go. All right, let me play you this.
For example, to obviously record this footage of the criminals and their friends and families, of course, celebrating. We're going to go through some of the examples of the type of criminals that we are now having freely walking our streets. Obviously,
if I can say this, he did another video recently, and he said some of these criminals that have been released, you know, some of them are already getting rearrested. Some of them are getting locked up again. All right. So, you know, it's going to be chaos out here. And you know, a lot of these people that have been put in these prisons, you know, gone through the system and that and whatever, a lot of them are going to be looking for revenge, especially when there's blackouts, especially when you can't dial 999. Got to be thinking about these things, man.
Will they reoffend, perhaps? Or whatever happens in the future, and we're going to explain the biggest problem in this area. Now, first things first, let's go to the Wandsworth prison, and the first video that we have showing the release of some of the prisoners.
3 reasons why you...
Let me just get rid of this commercial
that we have showing the release of some of the prisoners. Now, according to Charlie Peters, there is a party atmosphere outside the Wandsworth prison in South London. The same can be said from about other prisons around the country. Of course, around 2,000 prisoners have been released today. A couple of thousand.
And this kind of reminds me of that scene from, you know, from Batman, you know, the one with Bane, which Bane goes back to death. All right. And remember when he said, "Gotham is yours, none shall interfere," and he released all the prisoners out onto the streets in them cities, and they were causing havoc, man. Okay. And that's exactly what's going to be happening out here. Now, I want to play that actual scene, but I don't want to get a strike. So what I'm gonna do is let me see, Gotham. Let's see if we can get a still of it at least, you know. Oh, this is it here. So I want to play it, but I don't want to get a strike. But this is the scene. And this is Bane's speech. He said, "Gotham is yours, none shall interfere." But you see, this is predictive programming. You know? This is predictive programming. We give it back to you, the people. Gotham is yours. You know? And pretty much he released all the prisoners, you know, onto the streets. And he was turning the people against, you know, their upstanding citizens. The geezer Harvey Dent in the movie, but these suits, basically, he was turning the people against, you know, the these government officials, if you will. And that goes into that scripture in 2 Esdras 15, which I'm going to read. All right, it says 2 Esdras 15 and 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh." All right, and a modern day sword is a killing instrument. And the ultimate sword is the nuclear missiles, all right? And that's coming to pelt the hell out of Babylon the Great, which is America. And the impact of that's going to be so great that the whole earth is going to shake. All right? And that's the day of the Lord, the day of destruction. It says, "And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." And that's exactly what you saw in that movie, The Batman, with Bane. You know, you had a group of people going up against another group of people, and they had killing instruments, and they were putting each other to death, just like the Purge. That's why it's no coincidence why you're seeing these border control crises all over the planet. That's why you see, you know, these criminals, they're just getting emptied out, you know, into these major cities, and it's all by design because they want chaos. That's why Esau, you know, pretty much is allowing you Jakes, you know, you GMO babies, to do the whole smash and grab thing, like Elder Apostle Rakar's been saying. You know, you got niggas with blonde hair blonde dreads, running around, smashing and grabbing, running around with these tight-ass black tracksuits, covering their head with a hoodie, and they're just taking microwaves, taking, blenders, taking whatever they can get their hands on in supermarkets, smashing, jumping over till points. Esau's allowing that to happen because he wants chaos, all right? And it's really generating more and more division and more hate for the people that actually want things to go back to how they used to be. They want things to go back to being civilized, which really even the first, the one with the Joker, the Dark Knight, the Joker, and the interrogation scene, he said these civilized people, when the chips are down, they'll eat each other. So civilization, man, people, upstanding citizens of society, get ready to say bye to that forever, man. Especially in Esau's kingdom. Okay. It says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. And these individuals are going to be invading, man. All right, they're going to be invaded. Individuals like this, they're going to be kicking down doors. Yeah, in a time of a blackout, just like they show you in Leave the World Behind, and all chaos. The cities were up in flames, up in smoke in the distance, and all you was hearing was gunshots. All right, or like one of the end scenes in the movie The Knowing with Nicolas Cage, where you had all out chaos and people were just, the shit hit the fan and there was just all out chaos in the streets. And you're gonna have to imagine like guys like this is Jacob's trouble, and this is when Esau is gonna, remember the scripture says they shall be like madmen sparing none, and this is when Esau is gonna allow his troops to roll out there and just take you Jake out, man. All right, and it's gonna be in the eyes of these people, it's gonna be justified. Well, ultimately the Lord's with it anyway. Like when the scripture, like Elder Apostle Tahar made a statement, about the spirits of vengeance. In Sirach, let me see if I can get that one. Sirach 39 and 28, I believe it is. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Now, this ain't just talking about demons. They ain't just talking about like the spirit realm. It's actually talking about Jake that are gonna have spirits hopping on them to do what they got to do. And that's why you got a lot of people getting put to death, all right, out here, because the spirits that are created for vengeance, they can jump on individuals, and they can jump on Jake to take out Jake. They can jump on Esau to take out Jake. They can jump. The spirits are created for vengeance. They can jump on a dog. You got a lot of these dog attacks happening. This is fire and hell and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts is not a dog, a beast. All right, and the Lord can use them, right, to pretty much clamp down on your windpipe and shake it all about to you until your spirit leaves your body, man. All right, and the Lord's gonna start really turning things up out here. Judgment is going forth, and this is gonna serve to magnify the name of the Lord, and this is why we fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. It says, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. There you go. So, they're doing the bidding of the Lord on the left-hand side. Remember, the scripture says in Isaiah 45 and 7, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So when individuals like this start taking to the streets, just know what it is. There's some spirits created for vengeance. When they start taking people out, when there's no emergency services, just like in the C-19, when the pandemic happened, and you had the ambulance system, the ambulance services were being delayed by hours, and people were just in agony. But they could only prioritize certain postcodes to be getting seen to first. And if your postcode didn't flag up, then you were just in agony and in pain. You weren't getting seen to by the emergency services. So they've already, pretty much stress test this, if you can call it that, stress test it. But they've already, put out the trial run, so to speak. All right, and individuals like this, they ain't just gonna be popping bottles of bubbly, man. They ain't gonna stop there. celebrating their freedom. They're going to do stuff with their freedom.
They tell you the type of criminals who have been released. Let's go to the next video. This is the celebration outside the prison.
And even these individuals, just to say this, even these individuals, they think it's a joke, man. But when Esau, see, everything's fun and games until they start seeing their loved ones getting put to death, until they start seeing themselves on the run from Esau's troops, man. You know, it's gonna be all hell. You know, and that's why I'm reading 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. That's exactly why I'm reading it, because that's the time that we're in. You know, we're seeing that the sword is being sharpened. The scripture says, should we then make mirth? That was nothing but mirth. That clip that you just saw there, that was nothing but mirth. See, Jake are going to party and bullshit until it's too late. Just like they show you in The Purge, the one with Skeletor. I think it was called The First Purge or The Purge. All right, and Jake was just partying and partying. And then all of a sudden, purging started happening. People started taking each other out. Right? So let's keep going here. It says, verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Yeah, they ain't going to regard the government in that day. People are going to take matters into their own hands. All right, which the word government means to control the mind. All right, because even ultimately Esau, man, he wants all out chaos. Just like Elder Apostle Tahar has been mentioned in the movie Demolition Man, which Lord willing, I'm going to watch that movie again. All right, and how they release Simon Phoenix, which a phoenix is like a mythical bird that, you know, dies and then it rises from the ashes, you know, which that's what they be touting, you know, or that's what they be calling Trump these days. You know, he's like, oh, Trump's like the phoenix, you know, he's come back from the dead basically, you know, he's like a hero. He got, you know, shot at, all of us, you know, allegedly shot at and all of that, you know, but he's coming back strong, you know. But ultimately, you know, Simon Phoenix, he was like an old time criminal. And the police of the future age, because he got frozen. I think the term is what, cryostasis in the movie. But he got frozen and then he got released by Esau in the future. But the futuristic police was so used to a time of peace that they didn't know how to deal with a thugged out criminal like Simon Phoenix. And that's why they had to wake up an old time policeman, John Spartan, who was Sylvester Stallone, who, you know, played that part of John Spartan in the movie. To track down Simon Phoenix, which they were arch enemies, you know. So, you know, that's a good movie to watch. But the point is, Simon Phoenix, he started waking up his other criminal buddies from cryostasis, and they were just taking over. And Esau allowed them to do that. All right, the movie is called Demolition Man. So the scripture says, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, like they show you in movies like Hunger Games, you know, different districts, or the movie like In Time with Justin Timberlake, different time zones, where you can just go willy-nilly from one place to another, you know. Esau's going to lock shit down out here, man. And furthermore, the chip's going to get pushed. You ain't going to be able to buy or sell. So if you ain't teaching that the mark of the beast is the chip, then, you know, then you're pretty much allowing Israelites out there to take it, because you ain't teaching them the right thing. You ain't warning them not to take it. Now you're guilty of adding and taking away from the scriptures, you know. And the Lord's not gonna, you know, well, obviously you guys are gonna do what you're gonna do, but the Lord is gonna really, you know, show and magnify His name as He introduced nothing but chaos to these, especially to these cities, man. All right, and then you're gonna have to realize that the prophets were speaking the truth. The scripture says, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. It says, a man shall have no pity. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right? So later for you women, because the men are going to be afraid. So then you women, you're going to be fucked up, man. Like the Handmaid's Tale. You know, and I'm going to get, you know, I'm going to do videos. I'm going to keep doing videos on this subject, because this is the time that we're in. You know, Jacob's trouble is coming, man. You know, it's good to watch those movies like Mad Max, Hunger Games, Children of Men, The Road, where they show you how society collapses and that peace and safety spirit is a thing of the past. And now it's just like dog eat dog. You know? And all these rules and regulations and how things used to run smoothly in these cities, it all collapses. You know? Yeah, it's a spirit, man. Just kept the Day of Atonement. The Lord, allowed me to keep it, Hey, but, hey, Day of Atonement, man, you use this time you want to fast. Everyone should be throwing up them curses on this place, man. Be praying to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh for more chaos and more destruction, for more spirits of vengeance created for vengeance to hope on these people, to happen out here. And tomorrow is, so-called, Friday the 13th. You know how the left-hand side, the elites get down around about that time period. It's a very dark time period, all right? And we just kept the Day of Atonement, So that's balance, man. See, nothing's a coincidence, the timing of that. All right, so we're in a time where anything can happen at any moment anyway. So we just got to keep our eyes open. Like the Apostle Paul said, see them that you walk circumspectly. So a part of being circumspectly is to report what's going on out here. Why these things are happening. Why criminals are being allowed to just roam the streets. Ahead of schedule and that. And they're saying, oh, because the prison systems are too full over here in the UK. See, that's auto ab chaos. It's too chaotic. They can't even put these guys in prison. They can't keep them in prison. So let's let them out into the public early. So this is chaos, man. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, verse 19, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. We're in a time now, man, where, even the friendliest neighbor that you got on your road, is going to be coming at your neck with some sort of killing instrument, a sword, to take what you got and how to take what you're feeding your family with, And 2 Ezra 16 and 21 goes into that. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, the sword, famine, and great confusion. So people are thinking themselves to be in a good case. They were at once upon a time. Now I think the prices of things are going up all around. And all kinds of confusion is growing. A sword, famine, There's going to be famine. There's going to be cannibalism. All out chaos is coming, man. Okay? So we're in that time, all right? We're in that time. And Lord willing, like I said, I'm going to start doing more movie reviews as well, like the one of Demolition Man. And even in Demolition Man, they even showed you the chip in that. Because when they woke up, in fact, let me see if I can get a still of it as well. When they woke up John Spartan, which is Sylvester Stallone from Cryostasis, they put a chip in him. All right, John Spartan. Implant. Let me see if it comes up with any implant. Let me see. Demolition Man. Right, yeah, this is John Spartan in the movie, and this is him, with that jumpsuit on. He was, pretty much frozen, and they woke him up, and you see the futuristic cop standing next to him, and I believe Sandra Bullock's right next to him as well. She was playing a futuristic cop. And they even showed you how they used to have sex was like through virtual reality and shit. It was set in the future. But he was an old style cop that got woken up to pretty much arrest the old style criminal, Simon Phoenix. There you go, that's Wesley Snipes. But I don't think they're gonna show you the there was a scene where you could see the chip, that he had the chip. I don't know if it was him or another character in the movie, but you could see it, man. Okay, but anyway, that's pretty much it on that. We're in some heavy times, and maybe stay prayed up, man. Maybe ask Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai forgiveness and beg. The word pray means to beg. Pray that He protects us. The scripture says the angels are encamped about them that fear Him and delivereth them. In Psalms 34 and 7. So keep fearing Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, keep doing the right thing, keep, towing the spiritual line, staying, trying to the right things, you know, continuing the things which we learned, you know, as we await for all out chaos to happen, you know, and the hour of temptation to come. Because the only one that's going to be able to keep us from the hour of temptation is the Lord, because ultimately this is his chip. Revelation chapter 3 verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. The word patience means to suffer. So we're keeping the word of the Lord, man, you know, and the scripture says, in your patience possess you your souls. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So the Lord said, look, you kept the word of my patience. I will keep you from the hour of temptation, man. You know, when the device that's going to enable people to be able to buy and sell, you know, when that device is getting shoved in your face and you're being told to take it or lose your head, the Lord said, I will keep you from the hour of temptation, meaning the Lord's going to give us the spirit to be able to resist that. You know? It says, behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Hey, when you read in 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter, Ezra's mentioned, you know, the vision that there was a vision that Ezra had seen of Yahweh Shai setting crowns on the heads of the men that stood stiffly for his name. And that shows you that the name is important. You got guys that have sold out so bad that they can't even utter the name out of their mouth, or they make fun of the name. Because they've taken a bribe. They sold out, man. And even though it says in Baruch, right, that in the land of our captivity we shall think upon the Lord's name. Even though it says in Acts 4 and 12, there's no other name given among men whereby we must be saved. Even though these precepts are there, they can be read, right? You can read it, you can go to it and you can read it, you can understand it if the Spirit's dealing with you. But because of filthy lucre and because of your deceitful lust of the flesh, you are willing to be seduced by seducing spirits. You're willing to not teach in the name of the Lord because of your fleshly lusts, man. And that's weak. Remember, it says the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So this is a spiritual fight. It's a spiritual war. And that's why the scripture says, hold that fast which thou hast. This is about holding it fast, holding this truth, this knowledge fast. So no matter what, that no one gets in the way of our seat on a chariot when Yahweh Shai comes back to gather his elect, man. This is about fighting a good fight of faith, man, to the end. But remember, the scripture says if they went out from us, it's because they were not of us, man. So, all right, with that, man, I pray you were edified. You know, I'm about to go, jump off and, sort myself up some watermelon or something. Break the Day of Atonement, and put up some prayers, man. Brothers, put up prayers for each other. And also put up curses on Babylon the Great. Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Barakatah to all of you, that are fighting the good fight of faith. And also, Shalak Rayam, to Babylon the Great. Send them curses, man. And to all the enemies, of Yahweh Shai, the water, Tawab.